Okay, so welcome to How to Become a Luxury Hair Boss, presented by myself, Stormy Styles of Pink and Natural Hair Company or Pink and Natural LLC. So I'll just go ahead and get started, give you a little background about me. As I stated, I'm Stormy Styles of Pink and Natural Hair Company. I started my hairstyling career in 1997 in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, where I worked until I relocated to Washington, D.C. for a government position. After working in the federal government for about 5 years, I decided to leave to be a stay at home mom. I love being with my son, of course, but I wasn't sure what direction I wanted my life to go in after a while, being home with him. Um, I did know that I did not want to work for anyone else ever again. So at that time, I had retired from hairstyling full time. I taught myself how to make wigs on the sewing machine, and I began teaching other women from my home. This kept my bills paid for quite some time. However, I needed more than that to secure a future for my family. So I decided to return to the salon and did not realize how much I missed the camaraderie that manifests between stylist and client. Even though I was in a city where I did not know anyone, I was able to build a strong clientele in 6 months. And in 9 months, I was able to move into my own salon suite where I established Pink and Natural Hair Company. So today, of course, I'm going to share with you how I was able to do that. And so, just to get into the first topic that we have. So, well, let me just go back a little bit. So, the presentation overview, the things we're going to cover is number one, how I went from zero clients to fully booked in 6 months. The next is my step by step process to 10K a month. Uh, my why wigs and extensions are essential to grow your business and the best apps to streamline your business. And then we'll, of course, have a Q&A in between. So basically, the first thing that I needed to do before anything else, of course, was finding a location. So I know a lot of stylists, are working in salons, or some stylists are trying to get into the salon suite thing. That's a whole kind of different ball game, to being an independent stylist, because it's basically you have your own salon, and some hairstylists are working at home. But the most important thing is that you have a location where you can service clients comfortably for yourself and also for them. Okay, so whether that is in a specific room, but one of the main things you want to make sure is that you can cleanse your client's hair properly in that environment. So I would just want to put that out there. That's really the main thing when you're thinking about a location. So you don't want clients coming with their hair shampooed or anything like that, because right now we're talking about offering high level luxury services for them. The next thing that I did um, was I registered myself under my hairstylist name. And if you're comfortable, you can do this from home. But I was at a salon location. So I found a salon that I was able to work at, and I registered myself on Google under that salon's address and under my name. And right away, I started seeing, my clientele pick up. So the majority of my clientele came from Google. So you want to make sure that you are, using Google as one of the platforms to draw in, these clients, that you're posting photos, you're giving them examples, everything that they can see. And also, you want to make sure that your clients are leaving reviews. And so, one way that you can do that is to make sure you're collecting your clients' emails and using this as an opportunity to do follow-ups and ask them to leave the reviews for you, their experience in the salon on Google. Next, you want to register yourself. Of course, this should be a no-brainer on social media platforms: Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, and Pinterest. And we have two specialists on here. One is she specializes in the social media platforms, and that's Keisha. And then Troy from I Grow Salon. He is a Facebook ad. Correct me if I'm wrong, if I'm stating this wrong. Troy, Facebook ad consultant. And so, I've been working with Troy for a very short time, and I like the results that I've been seeing, thus far. And I'm gonna tell you, when it comes to working with people with social media, there's a lot of scammers out there. And also with Keisha from Head to Toe magazine, I've also seen some results working with her just for a very short time as well. So, you want to make sure that you're using really good resources when it comes to anything that you're doing on social media. You want to make sure that you know how to set up your page in the right way to attract the right type of target audience that you're looking for. The next thing is that you'll also need a booking application. I recommend Acuity Scheduling. This app works to automate your business as if you have a personal assistant. And so basically, I don't have a receptionist or anything like that. And all of my information is disclosed on Acuity. And people are able to go in there, do independent booking. They could do their COVID forms, they can leave deposits. I don't do any services without a deposit left or anything like that. And they already kind of know what to look for ahead of time when they come to the salon. And this kind of weans out people that you may not want to have as a client. So if they know that they may book and not show up, if they leave that deposit, they know they have to leave the deposit. They're not going to book and not show up. Most likely, they're going to show up. Okay. So then the next thing is going to be, in order to be a luxury hair boss, you'll need to sell hair extensions and wigs. Okay. So in order to do that, you need to have an e-commerce website. Hair extensions and wigs today are like the meat and potatoes of the hair industry. So there is almost absolutely really no way that you can really supersede like the average expectation without offering hair extensions and wigs in your salon. So you'll need an e-commerce site. I love Shopify. I have a web design company that I use for my website. But if you're just starting out, Shopify is definitely the way to go to really help streamline your business. All of these topics I'm, giving you a little insight into, but there's only so far that we can go on the webinar, because each of them you can have a webinar on each of these particular topics and apps, you know, themselves. So um, the next thing is going to be a merchant account. Okay, you'll need a merchant account for your website, such as Square, PayPal, or I think it's Stripe or something like that, or Clover. I use Square because I just feel like they make it very easy. They really make it if you bring a team member on, or if you're trying to do invoices. I just really like the different options that Square has, but you can use any merchant account. And you want to have a merchant account where you can accept credit card payments, because you're going to be dealing with high price services. And most people are not going to carry around $500 in cash just to pay for their hair at the salon. And also for tax purposes, it makes it easier to collect their payment information and to have a 1099 ready for your accountant at the end of the year. Last, excuse me, I'm sorry if y'all can hear my son in the background. Last, from this point, you'll want to showcase as much of your work that you can via photos and videos, whatever media that you have. You want to put it together. If you're putting photos together as a videos, you want to be able to showcase and register yourself on social media. And you want to make sure that you also have yourself set up if you're going under your name as a business account. That's very important, because that's really going to draw in uh, clients, to you in a way, rather than you being a personal page and you can't really look into the insights or your analytics or your page to see where you stand, or you're not going to be able to do certain things because you don't have a business account. Okay. So let's go on to the next section, which is 0 to fully booked in 6 months. So after being, a stay-at-home mom, as I stated, I really got lucky when I went to found a salon that was 4 minutes from my house, and they had a very high commission, which was about 70/30. So that's really good. Most salons out in the DMV area, they want to take 50% of your money. Some of them were asking me for 60%, and I'm like, that's not going to happen. So however, I have however, I didn't, like I said, I didn't have a clientele. I had to start from scratch. So, that's really where, my hustle began. And so, so I really had to begin to amplify my brand. And these are all the steps, as I stated earlier, that I went through. I had a work location, register myself on Google, always collect your clients' emails, register yourself on social media, use an online booking app. It will make your life so much easier. And e-commerce websites to sell your products. And lastly, a merchant account in order for you to take payments. Okay. And so what are the steps? The steps to 10K a month, right? And so let's say wherever you are right now, most stylists, I would, if I had to assume this in this day and age, they may be grossing around 1,000, depending on the services. If you're not offering wigs and extensions, maybe they're doing more depending on how much they're working. But I really can only work part time. So I have a salon, but I work about 2.5 days a week. And of course, like I stated earlier, the first thing I did was I made myself visible online. Okay. And this was like my action plan. I made myself visible online. After taking all the necessary steps I mentioned earlier, I began to research how I could offer mid to high level luxury services. I was already selling wigs from home. But I only wanted to work Friday through Monday. My goal was to make 1,000 to 1,500 a week. I decided to get the training I needed to offer luxury hair extension techniques such as microlinks, eye tips, braidless sewings, threadless, and taping extensions. I really began to promote myself really hard. So, one of the challenges that stylists have is once they get these trainings, whether it's in, they're making wigs or they pay for this high cost microlink techniques, they don't really start doing the services. So they pay for the classes, but they're not doing the services, right? And so, when they don't really know how to transition. So that's the thing that you want to be able to learn. And that's something we would have to go over in another course, but how to transition, how to implement the wigs and the extensions into your daily services, because it's a whole different market. Okay. And then, so the next thing that I did after that is I became the hair supplier, because after you have these services and everything, then you need somewhere to get this hair. All right. So you need to be able to offer the hairs if you want to increase your income, or you need to be able to have a resource, but you want to offer the hair because you want to keep that money in your pocket, right? So next I began to expand my vendors list. At the time I was only selling raw hair extensions, which cost a little more than virgin hair. Although I was offering luxury services, I wanted to offer options for multiple budgets. My idea was to have a service price at $275 um, per client, on average, and service the maximum of at least 6 clients per week. This amounts to about $1,650 per week gross. After paying my 30% commission, my take home was around 1155, and that's without hair sales. So that's just for the services I was offering. I made microlink services my front line service and my marketing campaigns. Microlinks start anywhere between $500 to $1,000, with hair being sold separately. Unexpectedly, COVID shut us down. So, in order to shift with the circumstances, I started offering free virtual microlink consultations and ran an ad on Instagram. And so, with so many changes, I wouldn't recommend just using Instagram. Definitely the Facebook ads. Troy is on here. He'll talk a little bit about what he does shortly. I'll get you guys, to maybe have, if you have some questions for the social media specialist and everything, they can go into that a little bit more. But at the time, Instagram was really helping me grow my business. By that time, we were able to open for essential workers in Maryland, and I was booked with Microlink clients and have been ever since. Because I developed and designed a system for success, I posted on Google, follow up with emails on my booking app, Acuity, did email marketing campaigns. I was persistent on social media and always provided excellent customer service. So between microlinks, wigs, hair sales, and classes, I was able to grow my business from around $3,000 to $10,000 a month. And so let me exit out of here so I can kind of give you guys a insight into this. Let me just sign in really quick. Sorry, guys. It's not going to verify anything, but I think it will. It might. Okay, so I will get this pulled up. I just do not know what the password is right now. I was just in here. One more time. Okay, so I'm going to go over this really quickly so that we can move on to our guest speakers just in case they have some things they need to do this evening. Okay, so let's see.
Hi, Mommy.
Hello, Jeffrey. You're cold? Okay, put your jacket on. Okay, here it is right here. Okay, so as you can see, in 2020 is the gray area. And so at excuse me, at the beginning of, I believe, 2020 of last year, I wasn't taking all of my payments on Square. And so a lot of payments were still being made in cash. A lot of, before, don't tell my accountant, but they were still being made in cash or Cash App and sometimes PayPal. And so as you can see early in 2020, this is kind of where I was at and everything. That's 20 was 2021. But if we looked at, 2020 first and kind of see, this is before I started offering microlinks, consistently. I was just doing a lot of silk presses and stuff like that. And of course, April is when we were shut down. And then come May and June, everything kind of like skyrocketed. So when we returned in May, because I think that was still possibly a full or partial month, I think that might have been when I was before I moved into my new salon, because I think I moved into my own salon in June. And so just from May, because I believe we still worked almost a full month in May into June, you can see the difference. like just at this point where there is like $1,000 compared to 5,000. That's a big hike in just a 30-day time span, right? And so things continue to kind of grow on, and this is all as a result of me offering microlinks. And I had to actually slow. I was still selling wigs, but a lot of them were being sold on Etsy and stuff. So this isn't even everything calculated. So I was making money also on Etsy, and no, Sezzle is probably reported on here. And where else? PayPal, and oh, Shopify. Shopify doesn't come through here. So basically, a lot of this is just like the services. Some hair was being also sold separately. Some hair was included in the cost as well. But that's just 2020. And so when we look at 2020, when you look at the end of 2020, you see how, oh, they're on the counter. You'll see how I was really able to create an increase, and this was just working part time. 2020, I was working literally 2.5 days, okay, a week. And in 2021, you can see, so I started at the beginning of 2021, things kind of balancing out a little bit, but kind of picking up. But not really, still a little lower and everything. I think I was working probably less days in January, and things started to progress. They started to progress, and I was really not even knowing what type of marketing to do, but like a lot of my business was coming in from Google. I mean, now like the sky's the limit. You have access to so many, different options now, for marketing to even grow even bigger. So here documented was a 10K month and everything. But like I said, that's not including all of the outside channels and stuff that I also sell on. And here, kind of June 2021, averaging about 2,000. In 2021, average about 8,000. Around 7. That was August was actually a little slow. And then this month, this is September. September is just ending, but I also have some other outside sales that um, around amount to probably about 2,000. So it's still, between my merchant account and the outside accounts, it's still around that 10,000. But this is all a result of me adding these higher end services to my salon. Okay, so does anybody have any questions? No questions? Okay. So before we get the look of it, about almost 30 minutes in, let's have so Keisha or Troy, whichever one of you guys would like to go first. Keisha, she will, oh, Keisha, where's your, wait a minute. Hold on. Keisha, you could go ahead if you like. And I just want to pull up, your information so that everyone can see it. Okay. Keisha, you ready?
Yes, I'm here.
Oh, okay. So Keisha, you want to introduce yourself or?
Yes. Well, you already introduced me.
Oh, well, I'm sorry. You want to tell us what you do? I'm sorry.
Well, I am a licensed hairstylist. I've been a licensed hairstylist for actually over, well, 20 years. But I'm retired from behind the chair. I'm an ex-salon owner as well. Um, and I have a degree in marketing. And I just chose to do the social media side of marketing. So I also have Head to Toe Mag, which I promote hairstylists, well, pretty much the beauty industry. It's a blog and it's an online magazine. I was doing print, but everybody is on their devices, and I soon realized that I was wasting a lot of money when I did print, and I started off in Mobile. So I switched to online. So I moved the magazine pretty much online, and I was doing the exact same thing on print. And I started my Instagram page, and I decided to promote hairstylists, well, pretty much people in the beauty industry. And when we first started out with social media, they were telling us that everything, is free. You can promote your business, but they pretty much did that in steps. And now it is pretty much completely monetized. And they will not show uh, your page unless you're pretty much paying for ads now. That's where we are. My page was hacked in 2018 at about 40,000 followers, and somebody actually hacked my page. That's before I was doing the two-step um, uh, to get into your page, and my page ended up being hacked, and I had to start all the way over from scratch. So I literally can see the difference in the algorithm. It was much easier for me back in 2017, 2018 to build a following on social media, even with Facebook. It's pretty much all about ads now. That's just the truth. I mean, you can grow your page by posting and posting, but it's not going to give you the same results versus hitting that promote button right now. And one of the biggest things that I want to talk about is your page presence, because I get a lot of DMs, people asking, can they promote their business on my page? But I turn a lot of people down, because if I come to your page and if I don't understand what your business is in at least 5 seconds or less, then I'm not going to promote your page. A lot of people are mixing their social life on their business page. And if I promote you on my page, I'm actually telling people this is one of the best of the best. You want to go, you want to follow this business. And I can't do that if your page is a party page, or you have pictures of your children and weddings, and it is a lot of different stuff that I see on different people's page. And also the picture quality, you have to invest in a good camera or phone, in which it doesn't make sense to get a camera now because you can take great pictures on your phones now. And that's another thing. Like some people, they actually do pretty good work, but I will not promote them because their picture quality is horrible. And so I'm not going to put that on my page because that's going to hurt my page for one. But you have to have really, really, really good pictures. Um, and I'm trying to think of something else right off the top of my head. But if anybody want to ask me anything,
Mhm.
um,
Well, I will say, I think what I did I use you like for like 2 weeks or something. It's
yes,
yeah, and
yes,
then and in that time frame, definitely I saw some organic growth.
yes.
And I utilize Keisha's promotional services for hair salons. And, I really started to see like people starting to recognize me. And that's really what I was looking for at the time. I didn't really have a campaign idea in mind or anything, but I definitely saw some positive results, and also just the way that you share the information. But people were like, starting to DM me and inquire about certain things as well. I totally forgot. I think it might have been my classes and a couple hair services or something that
Yeah, I
you
think it was a
had.
class.
Oh yeah, it was a class. That's right. And but I started to get just even getting business that wasn't relative to the class was a benefit, because it took a long time for people to start to even find me on Instagram. Like it took about over a year before I started getting people that were interested in me as a result of Instagram, because it takes a while for them to kind of get to know you and trust your business. So that is very important. It is very important to have your page and stuff presenting and representing your business.
And I'm glad you said organic, because believe it or not, a lot of people they buy likes and followers, and that's one of the worst things that you can do.
Mm,
is buy followers or likes, because for one, they do a cleanse. You never know when they're going to do it, and also, if they're not engaging, because that's the biggest thing is engagement. People are want to look at likes, how many likes somebody have, but that's not what you should be looking for with social media. You should be
mhm,
looking for engagement, like Stormy said when people contacted her.
mhm,
That's
mhm.
engagement,
Right. Does any
from
mhm,
and that's like and I watched her followers, and it was just, and she did, it was, yeah, I think it was 2 weeks,
mhm,
and I watched her followers increase, and that's organic. And you wouldn't believe, I mean, you have celebrities who buy followers and buy likes.
mhm,
And
mhm,
so I had a girl to do a promotion, and she was so worried about how many likes that it got. And I couldn't get her to understand that, are you not looking at the engagement? If your post has been shared amongst my followers at almost 100 times,
mhm, mhm.
and it's
Exactly.
been saved, and she was not looking at that. She was only worried about how many likes the post got,
Mhm. Yeah, because the
and that's
likes
not
will really
important.
negate sales all the time. And I'm not a social media expert at all. So that's why, I wanted you and Troy to come on here. So, I'm definitely not the person, at least not yet, to talk to about that. But like I said, in that short time span, I think it was almost about 100 people in 2 weeks because I was not at the numbers that I'm at now for followers. But does anybody else have any questions? I don't want to run over anybody. No questions? Okay. All right. So thank Keisha. Thank you so much. Thank you so much
You're
for
welcome.
sharing what you do, and I definitely look forward to working with you again soon as well. And I hope that some people on here will also take advantage of that opportunity. Okay, so
Thank you for having me.
oh, you're welcome. Okay, so next we're going to have Troy from I Grow Salons, and this is Troy's Instagram page. He is a Facebook ads consultant, and Troy also does excellent work and is very knowledgeable about what he does. So, Troy,
I'm Troy. I'm a Facebook ads coach, and I basically specialize in the beauty industry. So, hair salon owners, hairstylists, wig makers, hair extension brands. And in the past 12 months, I've helped my clients and students generate over $1.5 million in sales using ads.
mhm. And so, Troy, can you briefly just talk about? I know you have another call after this, but can you just briefly give a little bit of insight of how your coaching works? So, I'm one of Troy's one-on-one clients, and the reason I joined him is for one-on-one. I was talking to him in the DMs for a little while, and then I think I started to go to another company. I didn't feel too comfortable with them. And then I kept seeing, Troy kind of pop up. Next, I believe it was what happened. I don't know what happened, but I think I got this webinar where this an ebook. This young lady had mentioned Troy, and I was just like, oh, okay, because I kind of gave up on the ads, on the marketing, because I felt like the last company was getting ready to scheme me or something like that. And so, I felt like Troy was a legitimate business. I grow salons. Wait a minute. I felt like he was a legitimate business. Once I saw that the young lady had shared her success with him and decided to give him a chance. And I've been working with Troy also for a short amount of time as his one-on-one student. I started out in his group coaching, and I was just like, let me try the one-on-one out. And just in a short period of time, I've seen my sales increase without even doing any before we did any ads. So 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 Troy, can you just talk just briefly just about your coaching program and how it can really help the salons or stylists?
My coaching program works best for stylists or brands that are already getting sales or clients and are looking
Mhm.
to either fill up books out or scale their business up. And it's basically just me working with you one on one, using ads to pretty much magnify what you're already doing.
Mhm, mhm. So as you all can see, you know, having, the right connection with the right individuals also to grow your business because just like Keisha stated, before the Instagram, it was a little easier to grow. Not just last year, it was a little easier for me to grow my business, but just knowing exactly what's going on in the social media world and how to navigate through it and who to really connect with it is what's most important. Because, like I said, there are a lot of people out here who don't know what they're doing and they're putting the information out there. They're taking your money, and the next thing you know, you're still in the same boat. But these are two reputable sources that you can use, that you can connect with, whether you are, if you're not established now, keep their information, in mind when you're ready to move forward. Then you have, some connections and everything that you can utilize to really grow your business. Okay. Does anybody have any questions for Troy? No questions. Karen, Samira? No. Okay. All right. So I'm not gonna hold you guys because I know I really appreciate you coming on the call, and I know both of you guys probably have some things to do this evening. So thank you so much for giving us some insight into your business. And I really appreciate your time so very much. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
No
Thank you.
problem.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you. Okay, so we are going to continue on. All righty. So let's talk about the system for success. And as you can see, I'm just going right back to these elements that we talked about earlier, posting your work on Google, scheduling follow-up emails, with Acuity, set email campaigns in Clavio. I like Clavio as an email campaign, app. They I used to use MailChimp, but that's totally outdated for me. Okay, so some of the best recommend these email campaigns to utilize. All right, for your business, and you can really streamline it through Clavio. It's a lot easier too, and has less bugs to me than MailChimp. And then also, like we just discussed, posting your work to social media. And you have two reputable sources that you can work on. One, when you're starting out and you have your pages and everything established, and the other one as your business and stuff grows and you're able to work with Troy, to really expand where when your business becomes more consistent. Okay. And then the last thing is providing excellent customer service. Okay. So before we move on, does anybody have any questions about anything we discussed so far? None? Okay. So let's move on to the next section, which is why are wigs and extensions essential? Why are they essential to your business? Well, because they increase your return on your investment. Okay, so let's say you're working full time, making around $1,500 a week, but your goal is to make 3,500 a week. You can't duplicate yourself to service more clients, but you can sell products that will increase your revenue. So we have several different products that you can offer. And I just want to check really, really quick. Let me see. Keisha, are you still on? Did she go on? Okay. All right. So she's off right now. I totally forgot one. Oh, is she still on? Keisha?
No, she left. That was me.
Oh, okay, okay. All right. So, let's talk about the things that you can implement into your services, whether you're working independently or whether you have a salon, in order to grow, your weekly or yearly income. Okay. So the potential profit from 3 sales a week for hair extensions, and this is the potential profit after you subtract the amount you paid for the hair extension, is anywhere from 300. Go ahead. Okay, Jeffrey, you gotta ask Daddy. $375 to around $1,000. Excuse me, guys. I'm sorry. Can you? I know, but let me just finish this one. Excuse me, guys. I'm sorry about that. So the potential profit from 3 sales a week from you selling hair extensions is anywhere from 375 to around $1,000, right? And so, like I said, that is, after you subtracted what you sold the hair extensions for. So if you sell, usually hair extensions are sold in bundles of three. And so that could be, if they're around $85 or 90, let's say even $100 per bundle. If you paid about $50 per bundle, and then you're making about $150 profit, if you multiply that by three, then that's anywhere between around $450 just in profit from those hair extensions. So you can see how that can add up. So that's just from 3 clients in one week. And that could be clients that you're servicing in your salon, or that could be people that just come to you to purchase the hair extensions, in addition to the clients that you're selling them to in the salon. So you're not even putting any time into selling those hair extensions. So, just in one week, that's about how much you can make from hair extension sale profit, from the profits from selling hair extensions. Okay. And then, the pre-made wigs. So the average person, uh, you know, con- sells pre-made wigs from anywhere from about $200 when you customize them for styling. If you're adding color, then your profit is probably going to be anywhere from 350 to 400, depending on how the color is done. And if you multiply, let's say $400 times three, that's $1,200 right there off of 3 pre-made wigs that you purchase from a hair vendor, or a good quality hair vendor, where you can customize it for your client styling. Okay. And then if you're making custom wigs, you can charge more money. And so if you're making wigs from, on a sewing machine and everything, I charge around $300 just to make the wig. That's not including the hair. So if you multiply that by three, that's a minimum of $900 in profit. And then lastly, one of the other things is your hair products. If you have hair products that you're selling, I sell a shampoo system. I have hemp seed oil shampoo system that's about $60. And you multiply that by three, that's $180 and everything. If I sell three of those a week, if I'm including other hair accessories, if I sell other hair products as well, that's going to be at least a minimum of $300 a week. So when you're in the salon, you can include other hair products that you can sell to your clients that they need to use it for their at-home service and everything. And the skies are the limit. The sky's the limit. Retail is really definitely the way to go when it comes to hair, when it comes to increasing your revenue. Is going to be retail, because we can only do but so much physically. We can only work so much physically. Okay. So does anybody have any questions about that? All right. So the next way to become a hair extension, the next way, excuse me, to increase your revenue in the salon is to become a hair extension master. And so the potential salary for a hair extension master is going to be anywhere from 1650 to $4,200 a week. So let me break that down. Let me break that down for you. So let's see. Let me explain. So basically, an average sew-in weave is going to cost you today anywhere from $275 to $300. And with hair included, you can now charge around $475 for your service. If you did 6 sew-ins and sold 2 to 3 bundles to your clients, you would make around $2,850 a week in 3 days, servicing 2 clients a day. Now, if you offer microlength, like braidless sew-ins, at a price of about $500, and this is not including the hair, but if you did include the hair, then you would probably want to charge around $800. And so let's say you do 4 clients a week. The microlink clients can take, longer. So, you want to make sure that you allocate enough time. So let's say, 4 clients a week for that microlink clients with the hair included. If you're selling the hair, then your potential profit is around $3,200 a week. And lastly, if you add iTip hair extensions to your menu and sell the hair to your clients as well, then the potential to make anywhere between $1,000 to $2,000 per client is there. So 2 clients per week will gross you around $4,000 a week. And I'm saying 2 clients for the iTips because usually everyone is not a candidate for iTips, and it usually can take a little longer for you to attract those clients in because sometimes people have to prepare for that high investment. And so this is why adding extensions and wigs are essential to growing your hair business. The key is working less and making more. Okay. So does anybody have any questions about that? Any questions? No questions? Okay. So I'm just going to assume that y'all like what I'm talking about. All right. Okay. So just to recap, now the applications that I use to streamline my business is going to be, Google My Business for business marketing, Acuity Scheduling for online booking applications, Shopify for e-commerce platforms, Clavio for email marketing, and Square for the merchant account, and social media, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, all that good stuff. Okay, is where you want to be. You want to make sure that you have a business page so that you can definitely attract the right type of target client that you're looking for. Okay. Any questions?
I have a question.
Yeah.
When you first started doing custom wigs, would you still be charging around that starting price of like $300 or no, because you were just beginning?
I think when I first started, I was charging a $200 profit to
Okay.
customize it. Yeah, nowadays I wouldn't really say, 150, because once you start making the custom wigs on the sewing machine and everything, even though you'll start to get, it'll become like very easy for you, it's still work. And so, usually as a hairstylist nowadays, you want to at least make around $100 an hour. Okay, so if you are going to now the two Actually, I'm sorry, I was charging 250 ahead of time because it was for the construction, the cut, and the style, and that was
Okay.
for color. And so if you think about it, once you start getting good, if you're making them on the sewing machine, then it's probably going to take you around 2 hours to construct it and to cut and style. So that's relatively around like $125 an hour. So basically, you want to kind of look at it from that standpoint. And then if you're coloring the hair, then you have to really kind of figure out, what will you charge in the salon? So if a double process color, like bleaching and toning and everything, is going to cost your client anywhere from 150 to $200, then you want to also add that into your profit, and as well as you subtracting for the products that you're using. But another thing that I forgot about with the wigs is that you still have to implement into the construction your time for plucking and bleaching the knots. And so now, if you're just going to sell them, have an option for them being, unplucked or unbleached knots and everything, and let the client do that, then, maybe you want to go around the 200 marker. But if you're going to be bleaching and the knots and, plucking the knots as well, then I would say around anywhere from 225 to 250 starting out, because it's going to be work. It's going to take time. Regardless of how fast you get, it's still, your time that you have to get paid for and that you are investing into your business. You have any more questions?
Um, Thank you for answering that.
Oh, no problem. No problem at all. Yes. But did that help at all for you?
Yes, it did.
Okay. Okay.
Gave me a guide of where I would start around once I start up.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. So do you have a class that you're taking already?
Yes, I do.
Okay, okay, nice, nice. So when you take your class, they should definitely go over the breakdown, of how to price your wigs and everything. And of course, also, you're going to look at whether or not you're doing, if you get a pre-made wig vendor like we talked about earlier, you still want to look at that as if it's a client that you're servicing. So the cut and style and any hair color that you may add, bleaching the knots and plucking the knots as well. You want to make sure that you're getting paid for all of those different services that you're doing on that wig. Okay. Mhm.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Does anybody else have any questions? Okay. So, where you can find us is on social media at Pink and Natural Hair Company. So you can follow us there, or Stormy Styles on YouTube. You could join and like and subscribe once you watch the videos. But please subscribe to the channel so you can get the updates on all the videos that are going to be coming and the ones that are there as well. You could check out a few of those if you're looking to find out. I have a couple videos on how to add hair extensions to your business, how to add wigs to your business, and also how to start your wig business from home. Okay. And then also as well as Instagram at pinkandnatural.com. And if you are interested in any of our educational opportunities, we have virtual classes that we offer. We also have one-on-one in-person classes that we offer in the salon, and wig making on the sewing machine, microlink pro training and braidless sewing, and I-tip hair extensions. So all of these classes can be done one-on-one in person or virtually over the computer, and we will also be offering an online course that you can do on demand on your own at your own pace. Okay.
I had a question.
Oh
Sorry.
yes. No, go right ahead.
Okay, so you kind of answered the question I was already thinking, but I have another question also. So for the one-on-one classes that you provide in the salon, how do you go about like booking for that, would I just contact you personally?
Oh, yes, you can contact me, or you could also go to the website, but you can contact me. I think yeah, because you've got the email I sent you for the updated link. So if
Yeah.
okay, so what I'll do is actually this number right here that's up. This is the business line. And so if you text that number, then we can get you all set up and everything. I think that the link may be on the website, but just in case it's not, I make sure that you'll have all the details. But if I'm not mistaken, then just text me here, because since you joined the webinar, you'll also get $100 off that class.
Okay, that sounds good. Because I was definitely interested in taking one of your one-on-ones. I believe I messaged you before this
Oh, okay. Oh,
class.
okay, yeah. So definitely, yeah, definitely, text me right to this number, because it's going to be faster for me to reply to the text and the email.
Okay, thank you. I'll take it down.
Okay, sounds good. Okay. Does anybody else have any more questions? No more questions? Okay. All righty. So just some parting words. The greatest thing in this world is not so much where we stand as in what direction we're moving. And that's by Johann Wolfgang von Goethe, writer and statesman. And
What
so,
happened
mhm.
in the United States?
Oh, somebody have a question?
What promise
Can you
and
repeat
efforts
that again,
everyone did
please?
before us? Nah,
What she's who is that, Karen?
Just wanted you to repeat the quote again.
Oh, the quote is, the greatest thing in this world is not so much where we stand as in what direction we are moving. Did you
wow.
get Okay, so just to give a little follow up on the business resources, we have the Facebook ad coach or specialist, um, Troy, which is Troy at iGrow Salon. So if you want to follow him on Instagram, as well as the web design team that I use for my website, which is at Digital Brands, and our Instagram influencer magazine, which is at Head to Toe Mag. And we all heard Keisha speak today earlier, and her and Joy both offered us some insight into their business, and Keisha was able to give us some nice tips on Instagram and how to present ourselves. So, does anyone else have any more questions before we end? Okay, no more questions. So, well, thank you so much for joining. And I really appreciate all of you for
Thank
coming.
you.
And so, if you have any more questions, Samira, you can text me, or actually, I'll send you an email once we get off of here and everything, giving you all the details. So, thank you all for joining. And if you have any other questions, feel free to shoot me an email or a text message on the number that I listed earlier today. Okay.
Okay, thank you. I'm definitely looking forward.
All right. I'll be in touch. Thank you all so much, and enjoy your evening.
You as well. Thank you.
All righty. Thanks. Bye bye.